Up Graeme Kenna, the city solicitor.
This is the voicemail of Graeme Kenna from the Legal Department for Adult Services in Bradford Council. Please leave a message and I will get back to you.
After you've finished your message, just hang up. Or to hear more options, please press 1.
Yes, hello, Mr. Kenna. It's Mr. Hussain here, once again, leaving yourself another daily message like a broken record, like I have been doing consistently and persistently on a daily basis since the start of October 2023, following my brother's unlawful kidnapping and abduction by you, the state, or namely Bradford Council, in collaboration with West Yorkshire Police, since the 8th of August 2023, after you had previously kidnapped him and tried to put him into a care home 6 years prior on the 3rd of August 2018, only having to then fail to forcibly put him into a care home then and release him back into my care in December 2018, where he has remained and where you have persistently and consistently been persecuting and hounding and harassing and intimidating us, so that you could once again get your filthy grubby hands on him, so that you can look to plunder and profiteer from his financial resources, to plug your own financial deficit and your local duty of care and responsibility to the weak, vulnerable members of society, such as my brother. Now here we are. Today is Friday, the 6th of September 2024. You've kidnapped my brother since the 8th of August 2023 without any legal framework in place. You've simply told a bunch of lies that I was neglecting my brother after you had stolen all his money and were denying him access to public services by colluding and conspiring and machinating with your partners and associates at the Adult Safeguarding Board to target and victimize both me and my brother, so you can cover up on your own systemic failures. And so that was so you've taken my brother now for a period of 396 days, and are refusing to tell me what legal framework you've used to take my brother in this manner. You don't hold a lasting power of attorney for his health and welfare. You don't have a deputyship, court of protection deputyship order for his health and welfare. You don't have any legal rights or jurisdiction to take my brother in the manner that you have done so. At least last time, 6 years ago, when you took him, you sectioned him under the Mental Health Act, stating that he had lost mental capacity, or it was in his best interest to be incarcerated at Linfield Mount Hospital, which you effectively own, operate, and is a de facto branch of the council. But that all failed, isn't it? So you've taken my brother now for basically 396 days. You've not sectioned him. How have you taken him from my care on just simply telling the police I was neglecting him, and no evidence of this, no complaint from anybody else? You've simply just privately commissioned the services of West Yorkshire Police to come down and have me arrested so you can kidnap my brother because of the cost associated with his care that I was leveraging against you. So that's what you've done. This deprivation of liberty, ordinarily there are only as far as I'm aware, there's only 2 legal justifications to deprive any citizen of their liberty. Number one is through a criminal conviction. So you have to make a case, take it to a jury, find the person guilty, and then you can incarcerate him in prison and deprive him of his liberty. That's the main way you deprive somebody of their liberty, is to get them sentenced to prison. That has not happened here, and this is now coming to be a year. So effectively, you've basically created a private prison at Sunningdale Care Home and just picked up my brother and put him in there. You've not criminally convicted him to deprive him of his freedom and liberties. The only other option is to section the person under the Mental Health Act, which is a Section 2 and then a Section 3, which you tried 6 years ago, and that was an abysmal failure. Those are the only 2 known ways to lawfully deprive somebody of their liberty. In the absence of these 2 lawful ways, Anything else is unlawful and criminal, and that's what you've done. My brother's not been convicted of a crime, number one, and he's not been mentally sectioned under the Mental Health Act. There is no court order or a court jurisdiction that has allowed you to take my brother for the last 396 days. You know this, and I know this as well. What you're doing is fraudulent and criminal. Today's another lovely sunny day here in Bradford, and it should be the case that my brother should be out in the community. He should be with myself, and so I can provide him with the appropriate level of care that he requires and needs. You can't even speak his language. You don't appreciate or understand his culture. Yet you're claiming to be a city of culture 2025. This is just a means for you to collect more money. This is all what it comes down to. Your desperate need to plug your own financial deficit holes, and so you're going to any and all lengths stating that you're a city of culture so you can get more funding. You're telling everybody that you're looking after the elderly and disabled. All lies and deceptions, and your systemic lies and deceptions are all unraveling now. I was discussing this. I started to discuss this with Christopher Browell in the voice message. I've just left him because it's all over the news now that in Oldham a mass grave has been uncovered of 300 children and adults that have been buried there anonymously. So that is another aspect of your of the very same things I'm complaining about, isn't it? That there have been mass graves, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. The mass graves discovered in Oldham of 300 individuals, mainly children. These mass graves exist up and down the country. How many mass graves are in Bradford? I would shadow to think that how many mass graves exist where you've been torturing and murdering people so you can plunder and profiteer from their finances and killing children. This is the reality of the situation. This is why you don't want to speak to me. This is why you're effectively calling me a vexatious requester when I'm making freedom of information requests. You've got a dirty little secret that you're trying to hide as a local authority, as Bradford Council, and that dirty little secret is the fact that you've been torturing and murdering vulnerable elderly people and disabled people en masse on an industrial scale that you're covering up. And my brother just happens to be one of those individuals that you're now looking to kill off in your private prison at Sunningdale Care Home, where you've instructed them to deny his contact with their own brother. It's just one facade, isn't it? You're so many faced. You're not even two-faced. You're like multi-faced. You got so many facades that you're trying to hold. All these lies that you're trying to hold together, and they're all fast falling apart, aren't they? The Grenfell Tower report has just come out showing the fact that this is a systemic culture of lies and deception and pirateering and profiteering at the expense of the public to make money for yourself. It's only this situation that you're covering up. It won't be covered up for long. Everything gets unraveled. Even the mass graves in Oldham, where those people thought that this would have been all covered up, has come out. The truth has a tendency to always come out, doesn't it, Mr. Browell? Sorry, doesn't it, Mr. Kenna? And doesn't it, Bradford Council? All your lies and deceptions are going to come to the fore. And holding my brother hostage.
You're approaching the maximum allowed time for recording a message. If you wish to record further, please choose the append option from the menu. If you've finished recording, just hang up. If you don't carry on recording or hang up, your message will be deleted. To listen to your message, please record the rest of your message after the tone. When you've finished recording, press the hash key.
As I was saying, Mr. Kenna, this is all going to come out sooner or later. Holding my brother hostage in this manner, effectively having a gun to his head in your private prison at Sunningdale Care Home, and denying me access to see my brother, to psychologically torture me, will not change this fact. It is going to come out what you've been doing, and you can try to gag and silence me by buying off all your judges and courts and everything else, and buying off the police and perverting the institution of justice so you can cover this up. My brother, you've murdered my older brother in 2014. You've just murdered my mother into a January 2022, and now you're in the process of looking to stage events to murder my brother, which you're now holding. This is all going to come out, Mr. Kenna, and Bradford Council. You can't hide these things. You can't just put a veneer of respectability and say you're a city of culture.
But you've reached the maximum time available for recording your message. To listen to your message, press 1. To re-record your message, press 2. If you are happy with your message, press 4. To Message sent. Goodbye.
It's all just a made up lies that they keep on peddling to the people. That, oh, look, just look distractions. Look at this shiny little thing. We're a city of culture. We're benevolent. We're really good guys. When the reality is that they're in a position of authority and power and control. Why do you think they don't want to speak to me? They don't want to speak to me because they don't want to give an answer to these things. Imagine how the public will feel if they knew the truth, that the council tax money that they're collecting for social care is really being used to plug up their own failures and incompetences while they continue to murder the weak and vulnerable in society, and the disabled people because they can't afford social care anymore.